Hi, welcome back to another video. I have been off to exams and life and things. It wasn't easy for me to come back to YouTube, but I wanted to do it for so long, so I'm very happy. I will try to be consistent for at least 4 more years. Today I am going to share my thoughts on a book that I read, Inkredia by Sarang Mahajan. I read this quite a while ago, I think like 2 months back. I have kind of a muddled thoughts about this. I wrote some notes. I'm going to give a spoiler-free review of this book, what I thought, and I hope it will sum up my thoughts for this book. Inkredia takes place in a place called Inkredia, specifically in a small town or village known as Brida. Brida has a very complex political system with its brutal ruler who imposes a strict tax system where you will have to pay the tax if you're taken as an individual. So our main character Luwan, who used to live with his sister, recently moved out from her house after an argument with her. He is now taken as an individual as he is living on a hilltop alone. He has to pay tax, and our boy does not have that much amount of money to pay the tax. So he refuses to pay it. If you do not pay the tax, the result is death penalty. It's the first time someone is doing it. So Luwan and his sister with his best friend decides to move out from Brida into the city. In the process, they are chased by all these sinister forces who are making them do crazy things. So that was the basic premise of the story. Now coming to the review part of it, I do have some thoughts before we get into the review where I go and criticize the book. But to be honest, this book was really interesting and I think people love it so much because it delivers something that it promises. It didn't deliver it to me. People loved it. I read so many reviews of this, like raving reviews, and they really did enjoy it. So I'm happy for them. Just for me, I did not like it as much, and here is why. Coming to the world part, it is set in a very vast expanse of world. So there are like a huge amount of cities, states, villages, and small kingdoms with their own kind of political system, which you need to learn and stuff. But it's not well developed. That is where I found it a little bit lacking. Like our main characters don't know as well. So I don't know. It just made sense to me, but still, I was hoping to get that kind of world and imaginative, expansive things. If you're doing something as expansive as Inkredia is, like it is said to be very, very vast. So you need to stand up to the expectations that people are having from you regarding the world, taking as consideration that the title of this book is Inkredia, so we need to know about Inkredia more. So there were certain moments where a side character is dumping all these infos, like all the information about the world and all the kingdoms and stuff, and half of the time I was like, I don't even care about it. Like, I want my main characters to be living on these areas and exploring these things to themselves for me to get soaked into the atmosphere, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the world building for me. It is a very tropey, chosen one story. It has a very soft magic system. Like there is no elaborative magic system to the world. There are these magical creatures who have some magical abilities, but there is no like definitive amount of people who have magical abilities in them. If you are going to this book, you should know that this is a soft magic system, not a hardcore magic system if you're acquainted with that. Coming for the plot, I don't think there was any elaborative plot to the story. Like whatever I said, the premise, that's literally it. That's the story. There's no proper conclusion to the story as well. Whatever I said with the basic premise and blurb, that is the story. That's how much you get out of this book. I found a little bit disappointing because I did not get any kind of closure in the story. Characters felt a little bit off to me. They were anything but annoying, especially our main characters Meg and Luwan. Meg is Luwan's sister, our main character is Luwan. And I found them really, really annoying. Half of the time they were just like doing some crazy annoying stuff that just didn't make sense. Luwan was like throwing himself at danger and Meg was always crying out for help and doing stupid things. Like you should be supportive of him. Like he's the one who is facing death, not you. So you better not just start with it. Just shut up. I really like the character who got introduced later half in the story, but I really loved him and I really want more of that character in the next book as well. If you have read this, you know who I'm talking about. I really liked his character and he was just a comedic relief for me after all these annoying characters. The writing was a little bit poor. It was poor. Okay, it's very dry. The prose is very bad. I am sorry. If you like this book, you know it has a very bad prose, but people did enjoy it regardless of the prose. So there is this moment where our main character is going through some stuff, like he's considering if he's capable of doing something or not, and there's like a voice inside his head who is giving him motivation and stuff, and that speech was not motivating at all. So it is quite fast paced, I will say, though. It's very easy and quick to read. If you're new to fantasy genre and new to reading in general, you will definitely enjoy it a lot, and it's very quick to get through. So it's quite atmospheric as well. Like the dangers and stakes are so high that you are drawn into the story. It's very atmospheric to read, and that is also a very good bonus point for the story. Some general drawbacks that I found. First one being, I thought that the author was trying to focus on a lot of things, like he was trying to focus on the plot, characters, and everything. Instead of doing that, I will try him to focus on one thing. Like, he's good at building characters, likable characters. If I can like a side character, then I can definitely like the main characters as well. And he has this potential in developing all these good amount of characters, and as well as giving us the plot, the story that we need. Instead of focusing on the prose, like, don't focus on writing, don't focus on writing beautiful prose and stuff. Just focus on writing good characters. That will be amazing. I want more sibling dynamic between Luwan and Meg. Like, as I said, like, Meg was complaining half of the time about how Luwan is incapable of doing something and he might screw up and stuff like that. Like, please at least be supporting of him. Like, he's doing something for your sake, to save your ass. So please just be supportive of him. That's all I care about. There's like no in-depth between them. I don't know. I just felt that it was very, very lacking. That's all. Stakes are very high again, but the attachment of us to the characters is very low. That might be a reason why I didn't care half of the time that something was going on. But I was really interested in the creatures that were being introduced, so I enjoyed it. I gave it a 2.5 star. I think it's reasonable. I did enjoy it. Don't go over the rating. It's just how I feel about the book. But the book was good, okay? If you want to read it, you can. It's enjoyable, it's fun, it's consumable, it's good for someone who is new to reading, and it's very fast-paced as well. So if you like fantasy, definitely give it a try, because I have seen many people love this book, and I can clearly see why. It just didn't work for me. That's it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I will see you guys again soon. Bye.